let's talk about belt setups for PCSL. I've done a lot of experimenting, and this is something I've settled on that I'm just really happy with in every way, and love the customization options that I have. And the minimum that I would recommend for PCSL for starting out is have a nice solid belt. Inner and outer belt system's great. Have 2 pistol pouches, 1 rifle pouch, and a really nice holster with some level of retention, whether it's, you know, this Double Alpha Max, which is probably the least amount of retention that I'd be comfortable with, or something like the Safariland GLS system, which has something that will not let the pistol out until you activate it with your hand. So for PCSL, you can get away with 1 AR pouch or no AR pouches, honestly, if you want to just load from a pocket. But ideally, 2 and 2 is good, or 1 AR and 2 pistol pouches. So the way that I like having my belt set up is an AR front and center, and then 2 pistol pouches on my hip, kind of like normal, and then 1 more AR pouch on the back as either an admin pouch, or you know, if I'm going prone and I want to remove this one and still have an extra rifle mag on my body. Basically everything on my rig is either Blade Tech or Double Alpha Academy, and there are some things that you can swap out where it basically makes no difference. It's just preference for you, but I'll go over the few things that I've done that I really like. So I'm using Tech Mount Mini and Tech Mount for the holster on this. That's from Blade Tech. It's kind of like their version of Safariland's ELS system, but in my opinion, it's better because of the adjustment that you have on the rotation side. Everything's on Tech Lock, which works amazing with this Double Alpha Lynx belt. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Lynx, it's basically a bunch of these little pieces that go together with roll pins, and you can see that I can roll this thing up really tight for travel. And if I QD these mag pouches off, especially if I'm, you know, flying somewhere with my gear, it packs up really, really nicely. I don't have this big bulky thing. So the Lynx belt has been great. I actually have not had any durability issues with it, and you know, I can stretch it out with all this weight on it, and it's totally fine. Like, it's not gonna break or anything. So when it's on you, it's really sturdy. One of the things that was just a pleasant surprise to me is how well the Blade Tech Tech Lock belt attachments work with the Lynx belt. So if you look up close at how the Lynx is manufactured, it is hook and loop Velcro, but these hooks are actually like molded into the plastic. So with the exact thickness of the belt, as I mount a Blade Tech Tech Lock to it, it snaps on very easily. You don't have to use excessive force, but it's perfectly stiff where it's not gonna slide around, especially when this thing is on your body. So it's also not too tight, so that I can, on the fly, make adjustments. Like if I don't want this pouch exactly here and I want it closer to my other 2, I can actually just slide it down the belt like that, and it's gonna stay in place, especially when I cinch the belt down perfectly. So one of the accessories that Double Alpha sells, which I would highly recommend, is this ratchet strap attachment. So it comes with 2 links that are pre-drilled and attached with the ratchet strap and the buckle, and you insert that, and then you can crank it down as tight as you want, and then just lift, and it comes out really easily. This makes putting the outer belt on and off extremely easy. So let me show you. Just align that where you want it, wrap it around, get the ratchet strap in the buckle, and crank it down. You can make it as tight as you want, where it's really sturdy, and then it's not going anywhere. It's not going to get any excessive force on it, even if you fall. I've fallen with this belt multiple times, and the belt's held up totally fine, even when mag pouches have broken. Okay, so for my full-length dust cover 2011, I have this Safariland holster. This is the 578 Pro Fit long version. Now, this one covers the 5-inch gun, and I'll show you where I had to Dremel off some pieces of it to make it fit with the Optic Ready 2011. So first of all, this whole area up front, I had to kind of take a chunk out of here so that the Optic could fit. Then back here for the mag release, I had to kind of scoop out this portion, and then I had to cut down the lever quite a bit because it actually went so far back that it interfered with the grip. So with the pistol in the holster, I'll show you that around the Optic, that's all cut out for the Optic. The mag release just barely fits in there, and then the back of the grip, or the back of the lever, is just before the grip. So when I go to draw this and I pinch down on the grip, you can see that my hand deactivates it and it draws out super smoothly. And when it's in the holster, it doesn't have much play. and you cannot get it out unless you really do some crazy like twists to get it around that retention. It's so smooth sometimes that you will question whether or not your pistol's even held in place when you're not gripping it. So the way that Safariland does their holsters, they have their mount a little higher up. So the holster almost has a built-in drop to it. Blade Tech sells a Safariland adapter for this, which I have pieced together here, and then the Blade Tech Tech Mount plate is on there. So when I run this one, which is my ultimate retention holster, I like attaching it just directly to a Tech Lock and putting that on the belt. So I'll put this directly on the belt and then just slide it down in there. And then just like the Tech Mount Mini, this one also I can shift the angle of the holster to match exactly the angle of draw that I want really easily on the fly. And then since this is the full size Tech Mount, I can lock it to the side like that to make sure that it's not going anywhere. So the way I'll set it up with these Tech Mounts, which if you see in here, all those little notches are rotational adjustments. And you do that by just pressing this lever down and having the mag pouch rotate, and then the lever is spring loaded and it'll lock into place and keep it there. So on my front pouch, I have it at an angle where it's off to the side, and I can do it one click up like that. So this is where I'll hold one rifle pouch there, and this makes it really easy to do if it's an unloaded start to get the mag in really quick, or if it's just a stage I'm shooting practical division maybe where I need to do a reload. I really like having it here, and also I'm used to it shooting PCC with my fast reload mag here so often. And then that gives me enough space to draw the mag without interfering with my pistol pouches. So next, I'll put my pistol pouches on. And what's really cool about this Tech Mount Mini is that if I like a more vertical pouch, I can have it more vertical, or if I like to have it further back, where you get that like ergonomic sweeping motion as you reload, you can do that too on the fly, and you don't have to mess with any Allen wrenches or anything like that. So I'll run two pistol pouches usually like this, slightly angled back, and you can see there's plenty of clearance for me to draw my rifle mag and still sweep past and get to my pistol pouches. On the back, I'll run one right here, and sometimes that could be for my first mag of the stage, and then if I need to reload, I'll reload from the front because it's faster. Or like I said, maybe it's a stage where I actually don't even want this pouch on here because maybe I'm going prone and I want this free. So that's how easy it is to adjust the belt for the shooting challenge that I'm about to participate in. So one of the things that's really cool about PCSL is that even with your guns, with your belt setup, your guns, your optics, you can bring the equipment that you want to each particular shooting challenge with no interaction with any range master or equipment check or anything. As long as the gear that you bring fits in your division, you can swap whatever you want for the shooting challenge. So let's say there's a pistol heavy stage, or maybe it's a pistol only stage where I actually don't need my front pouch, but maybe for this stage, maybe it's an unloaded start or something, I want a third pistol pouch. So what this belt allows me to do, especially with the Tech Lock and how perfectly it fits on the links, is that I can just take off my rifle pouch here. I can add another pistol pouch, and maybe this one, since it's more forward, I want it angled back so that I can reload a little bit easier like that. And then I can just slide this Tech Lock down, just like that, closer to my other pouches, and then put the belt right back on. And this isn't going anywhere now that it's cinched down, like that's on there. And now I have 3 pistol pouches in a row for this particular stage. I can reload 1, 2, 3, super easy. That also makes it really nice to go back and forth between shooting sports. If you want to shoot PCSL one weekend and USPSA another weekend, this is perfectly good for like a USPSA limited optics belt. And then shooting PCSL, I can just shove this one back over and then remove that extra pistol pouch, throw my rifle pouch back in, and I'm ready to go. All right, so pistol holster for this setup. I have this one on a Tech Lock also. So this took some modification. Originally, this is actually the Blade Tech dropped offset adapter. And normally, you could install it through the Lynx belt. But I like having the option of, like, say I want to use this belt for PCC, which I have. I can just take this whole thing off. It's on a Tech Lock. And then I actually don't need anything on my right side. And I use the same pouch for my Mean Arms Exo Mags. and I could just remove these pistol pouches, and then, you know, I got 2 pouches on for a PCC belt. This is the actual belt that I ran at PCC World Shoot. So what this pistol holster allows me to do, and basically if you look at this, I just dremeled off the little tabs that go around the belt, and then I attached a tech lock to it. There might be something off the shelf that works with this, but yeah, this is just a drop offset adapter. I really like this, the thigh strap, because of just how tightly it keeps the gun to your leg as you sprint. It really prevents that, you know, holster warping from causing a shake that will kick the gun out of the holster and possibly cause it to fall. Now this one, where the plate is mounted more inside the center of the holster with the drop offset adapter, this gives it a really nice height for carrying. You can see that the back of the gun is just in line with the belt, which is really a comfortable position. It's nice to draw pretty quickly, and then I can, with this knob, I can tighten down the retention quite a bit, so that if I'm doing some sprinting on a stage, I tighten it down, and then I just have to remember, you know, when I go to dump my rifle, I just give it a pretty firm yank out of the holster to defeat that retention. Or if it's a stage where I don't need the retention, I'm not doing vigorous movement with the pistol, I can loosen this up quite a bit, and then the start is really, really quick. So these are 2 options for pistol pouches that I really like. You got the Blade Tech competition pouch. This one has this nice spring screw retention up front that clamps the pouch down on your magazine, and it also has this tension tab in the back that's just a little bit spring loaded, so that it pushes the mag forward. It locks in the mags really well, and you can tighten these screws down, and even though it doesn't have that much surface area, that's actually kind of nice because it lets your finger get down there and really get good purchase on the magazine as you draw it. But when you tighten these down, you can get some really solid retention on here. The other one that I really like is the Double Alpha. So this is their standard like competition mag pouch. There's different inserts for different types of magazines, but it comes with this adjustable screw back here, which pushes in on this rear tension tab and lets you fine tune how much friction there is with the pouch as well. So both of these are awesome, fantastic options. You can see I got Tech Mount mini plates mounted to both of them, and that means that I can really easily just clip them on and adjust the angle of draw that I want on that mag pouch very, very easily. Overview of the whole rig as it's set up. Got the pistol in the Double Alpha Max holster on a Blade Tech drop offset with the Tech Mount. Got the Double Alpha Lynx belt all the way around with the Lynx ratchet attachment. And then all my mag pouches are on Tech Mount Mini, which offers great adjustability. Everything's mounted to the belt on Tech Lock, which is this that everyone is familiar with. Blade Tech is kind of universal with, you know, this comes on like everything from every brand, so you guys probably know that. And I got 1 rifle pouch up front, making it really easy to draw and load. Then I got 2 pistol pouches in the standard spot on the hip, and then 1 more backup rifle pouch on the back. And of course you can get away with, you know, if you're doing a pocket load with your first mag, starting out with PCSL, this is kind of the minimum I would recommend. 2 pistol pouches and 1 rifle pouch, and then a holster with a good amount of retention, and you're really good to start. And then you can adjust and fine tune your setup as you like from there. So hopefully this overview of the belt that I really love right now gives you some confidence in bringing your own gear out to your local PCSL match.